I live in Lebanon, a tiny country in the Middle East that has a very rich gastronomy and delicious food. But there's one food item that I'm obsessed with that isn't Lebanese. Le croissant.
Croissant.
Croissant!
Croissant.
Croissant! Croissant!
So good.
I just love croissants. I can't explain my love for croissant. They're crispy, tasty, flaky, comforting. It's literally the best thing ever. A bit cliche, right? The croissant, Eiffel Tower in the background, the music. But it's true. The best croissant I've ever had on Europe, and especially in Paris. Every bakery nails it here. But I've never tasted a good croissant in Lebanon. Ever. And I've tried, trust me. My quest to find a good croissant here has lasted for years. Yet every single time, I get disappointed. I mean, what the heck? Cheetos croissant? Seriously? I was very discouraged. Until today. This is my friend Thomas. Thomas never stops smiling. He also works in his family-run bakery, a croissant factory. He heard about my mission and guaranteed that the croissants they make are the best in Lebanon. If this is true, then let's go and figure it out. Welcome back to the daily vlog. Today is day 30. We are becoming bakers for the day at the factory of Thomas's family, Le Blé Croissant. Here they bake various pastries but specialize in croissant, which they've been distributing to schools and universities across Lebanon for years now.
Thomas, his first step was on the table that we are used to roll the croissant on, me and my wife.
We're gonna work on it today.
It's his destiny, you know?
We kept it as a souvenir. The most valuable table. I won't change it.
Today we'll be spending the day here in order to learn the craft behind making something that we literally devour in 2 seconds. And see if the croissants made here deserve the title of the best croissant in Lebanon. I never ate a good croissant in Lebanon.
The croissant must be made from the best butter available. The whole secret is in the butter.
Butter. What that?
And because the butter is expensive, they change it into margarine and other things.
Time to wear our uniforms. We're gonna put on these.
Those croissants are made with margarine, the most renowned type of croissant in Lebanon, and also my least favorite.
So our croissant is made up of flour and water, the 2 basic ingredients, the salt, the sugar, the yeast, the emulsifier, and we have the butter and milk.
Croissant is basically layers of dough, butter, dough, butter, dough, butter. 64 total layers for a standard croissant.
This is the quantity of butter we use for this amount of dough. So we trap the butter inside.
And now we're laminating it, making it flatter and flatter. Basically, you laminate, then you do a book fold, laminate again, fold, and repeat the process until you have the number of layers desired. Then you can start shaping. You cut the dough into triangles, stretch them out by hand, then roll them into the shape we all recognize. And here you go, you got your croissant. There's a fascinating story behind why the croissant is shaped like this. Legend says that everything started one night in Vienna in 1683. As usual, the bakers of the city were working throughout the night to prepare the bread for the next day. But that night, things were different. The Turks had been approaching the gates of the city and were secretly digging tunnels to conquer it by surprise. But while everyone was asleep, the bakers heard something unusual. Distant noises underground. They alerted the city's defenders, saving it from the Ottoman siege. In celebration, the bakers created a pastry called Kepfel, a commemoration of Vienna's victory over the Turks in the shape of the crescent moon, which was a symbol of the Ottoman flag. Fast forward to about a century later. A baker called Auguste Zang opens what we call a boulangerie-viennoiserie in Paris and started making his kipfel, but flakier than the ones of his native town in Vienna. The rest is history. Parisians began calling them croissants, and now we finally have what we all know internationally today. It's like a mix of like cultures. Like the croissant is shaped because of the Muslim crescent. It has been made by Austrian bakers and adopted by the French, where they added butter and did the pâte feuilletée. Now they're telling me there is a coffee break. I hate coffee. I really do, but I need to. It's part of the tradition. I never understood why people like this. My mom had like a huge mug when I was like 5 years old of coffee. And I was like, I want to taste. And my mom told me, okay, if you taste, you need to finish the whole thing. And I drank everything. And then I realized the taste was horrible. And I spit everything on the floor. And I never touched coffee again. That's my coffee journey, man. Coffee break's finished. And now it is baking time.
Time to bake.
Let's see where we shall go next.
For the next step, we had to wait for the croissants to proof. So Thomas suggested teaching us how to make authentic donuts. And so we started preparing the dough. And like the croissants, the process of making a donut is precise and has its own complexity. So many elements are involved in the making of the dough. The variety of tools used, the dosages of ingredients. Whoa! Exactly 1 kilogram. Even the temperature of the dough that needs to be very specific at times. With all those variables, you kind of have to trust the process. When you look at this, you're like, what is this? No, it's just a weird soup, you know? But then it ends up being something amazing.
He's learning how to walk just like Thomas learned how to walk.
even when kneading the dough, there's so many ways to do so, and the texture and quality of the dough is totally dependent on the strength and pressure you use.
So you just grab it with both hands and you do this. Yeah! If you touch it, it recoils. This is when you know it's not ready to be used. Now it needs to rest.
Then, just like the croissants, we folded and laminated the dough before shaping it into donut shapes. And here you go. That's a donut shape. Let's continue with the rest of the dough. That's the triangle donut.
You want to?
The donuts were for half an hour in the proofer, and now they're all ready to be fried at 173 degrees Celsius.
The traditional American donut, you have a white ring. This is the characteristic you want to look for in a donut.
Now it's time for my triangle.
You're gonna put some icing on your triangle and then put some topping.
This is hands down the best triangle I've eaten. Now we're gonna be pumping the donuts, plain donuts with jam.
Pump the jam, pump it up, while your feet are stumping.
The best feeling is to do the pastry yourself and then eat it.
Oh wow, yeah.
I never ate that much sugar at once, I think. Solid 10 out of 10 for sure. The croissants finally finished proofing and we placed them in the oven. And those are our croissants from the oven.
Fresh out of the oven. Just want to eat it.
And finally, after all those hours of meticulous work, it was tasting time. Oh my god, dude. It is delicious.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not kidding. It's the first time in Lebanon I'm eating a good croissant. First of all, it's fresh. Second of all, it's done the right way, like they do it in France. They use the right butter and the right quality of butter. I just wanted to tell you that we just ate the croissants and they are amazing. Anjed. Being part of the process today made me enjoy that croissant so much more. It's really eye-opening to see how much time and work goes into it. We tend to take it for granted. I also discovered that a big reason why people don't focus on making good croissants in Lebanon is because of the economical and political situation. The rise of prices, the decrease in salary, the decline of working conditions. A lot of work, like hours at end of work on the
In these conditions.
It's really tough to run a business in Lebanon with all that's happening, but it was inspiring to see how passionate, hardworking, and dedicated Thomas and his father were to make high-quality pastries, to witness their attention to detail, to keep their good ethics as a family-run business, and push through despite the crisis. And for me, I'm happy. I might have found the best croissant in Lebanon.
And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.
You know the drill. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow for the last video of the challenge.
Tomorrow's the last video. Last day.
Wow.
All right.
I'm excited.
Bye.